Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. How are we? Oh, I see a lot of comments in the chat. Plenty to catch up on. Hello, Buckler. Hello, Fatima. Hello, Malika. A few of you there. Dreamy Meow. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing good. See a few people excited. Nice. Good. So today we're going to look at a bit of electricity. Yeah, so the quiz is going to be on electricity and circuits. So as I have done for those of you that have been here, you know the deal. But for people that are new, I'm going to run through a bit of the topics that are going to be in the quiz, try and do a bit of a revision session. Yeah, it's the aim of all of this ultimately is to kind of help with your learning, and then make it a bit of fun competition. Do a little quiz, and if you end up in the top 2, you get a prize. Yeah, so here again, I'll run through the rules. Here you have to join. Obviously, they're live, and you have to subscribe. If you're trying to chat and it's not working, the reason is because you need to subscribe. Okay, so subscribe, and then you'll be able to chat. And then that is the first thing you need to do. Is when I'm going through these topics on our website, I want you to engage with me. I'm going to ask you some questions. The answer in the chat. Ask me any questions you have, and I'll do my best to answer them. Seeing you and screenshot that you're participating in the chat. The second thing is then joining the quiz. And then with that, I want you to take a screenshot if you end up in the top 2. You either win or you come second. Okay. So I will show what the quiz is going to be. The pin is going to be. So I'll show that to start with. Let me get that up 1 second. I'll cover this quickly. Let's see. 1 second. Bear with me. Get this started. We'll go with classic mode. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'll get this back up. You can see the pin here, 7376063. Okay, and the website is www.kahoot.it. So get on there. I want to see a few people getting in there. Let me know who you are in the chat. Okay, we're going to wait for the numbers to go up. Not too many in at the moment, but if you know anyone that comes in, please do get them to join. Enjoy our quiz, have a bit of fun, compete with your friends. Like we've said before, if we reach 50, we will up the prizes to the top 3 finishers, all 3 on the podium. Yeah, so let us get more people there, and we will make that happen for you guys. Okay, but right now for today, it's going to be 2 people. If we get 50 people in the live today, we will reach. I will join, make it 3 prizes. Okay. I see a few people here now. Magnetic Finks, Dr. Sloth, Groovy Swan, Magnificent Piranha, Dandy Cassowary. Really good names there. I love the images as well. Really good bit of fun. How many in at the moment? There is just 10 of us at the moment. Okay, so that's been going up and down a little bit. Maybe as people join to get a bit later on, we may get more people in. But I'm going to start the quiz in about 15 to 20 minutes because we're going to do the revision session first. Yeah, remember this, just as well as having a bit of fun, we're going to do a bit of revision as well. Yeah, that is the aim here today. So I'm going to leave this up again. 7376063 is the pin. www.kahoot.it. Hi Frozen, thanks for making it. One of our students had just been in the class earlier where we did acceleration and velocity. We're now going to do some revision on electricity, which we've covered in our FRL classes. So you can, if you join our classes from now, you'll be able to see that a bit later on. But so to our website. So for those of you that haven't seen it before, it's flashrevisionlab.com. You can see that here, flashrevisionlab.com. Yeah, so if you go on there, you'll get access to all of this. You can just sign up with an account for free, and you get access to all our notes. Yeah, all our notes that I'm going to show you today, you'll see here. You get access to all of it. Okay, and I'm going to start. We're going to look at electricity and some circuit stuff. So here I'm going to that topic, and you can see we've got our notes broken down here. Everything you need to know in the spec. How do you know I'm not lying? Go to the spec tab. We've got it here. Yeah, and it shows you exactly what you need to know in the spec, and everything on our notes will cover exactly that. Once you're happy with that, take a look at our questions. We've got exam questions for you to try. Take a look, give them a go. If you want to check them, look at the mark scheme in the other tab, and you've got several questions there for you to try. Yeah, so the aim is the perfect way to revise. Have a set of notes. We're giving you that. Take a look at some questions. We're giving you that. Yeah, and then have a look at the spec. Make sure you're covering every single spec point. You can tick it all off. And then lastly, our new feature, if you're an FRL Pro, you can see the flashcards here just to test your knowledge and kind of track what you do and don't know, to revisit any bits you don't know later on. So, for example, how do you connect a voltmeter to measure voltage across a resistor? Who can tell me the answer in the chat? Drop your answer in. Let me see. You hate electricity, Fatima. Don't worry. This is part of the revision, right? I just want to help you revise. So hopefully this is going to help. I see an answer. Parallel, straight away. Nice. That is Zara. Nice. Very quick there. And say nice, both of you have said parallel. Let's flip the card in parallel. There we go. You guys are correct. So if that was you two or you three there, Philip as well. Nice. Good to see you here as well. Just put, you know it swipes it to the right. You've got your next card. Yeah, let's say I don't know it. Let's say what happens to a thermistor when the temperature increases, it decreases. Say I didn't know that. I want to note it for next time. I will put still learning. It will swipe it to the left. Yeah. So a great way to track what you do and don't know. Yeah. So we're trying to give you the best possible tool you can to revise everything in a one-stop shop, essentially. Okay. And we also have, for those of you that are, there are some of us in the chat, Philip and Frozen are a couple of them. We do FRL classes. Okay. And every week, that is each science, biology, physics, and chemistry. Myself and Neen will teach those classes once a week. So that's 12 classes a month, and it's £22 a month. Yes, that's less than £2 a class. Yeah, you're not gonna get a better deal anywhere. We do those classes. Don't worry if you can't make them. They're usually on a Friday and Sunday. Say you can't make it live, they are recorded. So you get access to our portal and you can revisit them later. Even if we did it and then you wanted to revisit it, you can. It's on our portal. We give you homework to go through. We give you a designated workbook per class. So you get a set of notes come the end of each class, and that can be your basis for your revision to learn from and read from again when you go to practice for your exams later on this year. So really good tool. So if you do combined higher, yes, this is part of it. This is chapter 2, guys. Yeah, so this is right at the beginning. This is paper 1 in all physics. Yeah, that's combined science and triple science. This is a combined topic. Okay. So here you can see we've got our walkthrough video, okay, and it's got checkpoints to test you as you go along. Yeah, make sure you're paying attention and understand what I'm covering. But I'm going to go through here firstly the symbols, okay, circuit symbols. So a couple of more difficult ones there, and a key way to remember some of them. Anything with a rectangle, okay, anything with a rectangle, such as what I'm going to put here, if I can. 1 second. Sorry, see if this works. So anything with a rectangle, it's not working here at the moment. I'll move my mouse across maybe. There we go. Is that not coming up? No. Okay. Anything with a rectangle you can see on the website here. I'm going to show it from the screen. You can see it's a type of resistor of some sort. Okay. So your resistor, a standard resistor is a rectangle. A variable resistor has an arrow through it. Okay. Variable meaning the resistor can vary. You control the variance in the resistor. Can I go closer to the mic? Apologies. I'm pretty close. Hopefully it's louder. I'll try my best. I'll talk a bit louder as well. Maybe that'll make it a bit better. Let me know if it's okay, Quinn. Apologies for that. So yeah, anything with a rectangle is a type of resistor. A variable resistor, one you can change the resistance of. A thermistor, thermal, to do with heat. Yeah, so a resistor that changes with heat. Light dependent resistor, the name says it itself, dependent on light. It changes the resistance. And then the one strange one here that is kind of a resistor, but it can melt depending on whether there's too much current through it. A fuse, okay? It's a resistor basically with a line through it. That is a fuse, okay? Then other key ones here, you can see an open switch and a closed switch. The contacts are open or they're closed. You then have a cell and a battery, okay? A cell is a singular positive and negative plate, and then the battery is 2 or more cells put together. Then a lamp, we use that a lot in a circuit. So it's a circle with a cross in it. And then our things to measure particular electrical properties in a circuit. An ammeter to measure current, which is measured in. Can anyone tell me what current is measured in the chat? An ammeter is used for it. The clue is in the word. Can you make it bigger? Sorry if I'm going to here. So I'll make that bigger. It's going to be harder to see all the text, but I'll zoom in a little bit just so you can see the symbols. Hopefully that's better. Amps, good guys. Yeah, amps is a measure of current. Very good. What about a voltmeter? Again, clue is in the word. A voltmeter is used to measure what? What is it? And also, what is the key term for it? People mix it up. So it measures in volts, but a voltage, or what is another term for voltage, guys? There you go. Someone's dropped it. Dennis, very good. Potential difference is what we call it. Yeah. So it measures potential difference. You won't necessarily be wrong with voltage. Always better to use the key terms. We measure it here. It says here, a voltmeter measures potential difference. Yes, I've mentioned that here. Okay. So what about the, oh, there we go. Now my screen is working. So I can save this for a bit. I jinxed it now. Not working. Okay, I'll come back to that. So that is all the circuit symbols. Okay, quickly. Swashbuckler, correct. It's going to start in about yeah, 15, 20 minutes or so. But remember, if you want to be in a chance with a chance to win, you need to participate in this chat. The whole point is this session is the most important part. Okay. So I can't, because I want to keep it up for when people join. Okay, unfortunately, Daisy. But I will explain as I'm going along. So listen to me and hear my questions, what I'm going to ask you, and then I'll zoom in and out of this a bit so you can see things a bit clearer. Yeah. The text at the moment, if you want to see it, remember you can go to our website, flashrevisionlab.com. It's at the top here. Okay. So you go to flashrevisionlab.com. This is exactly there as you need it. Okay. So I'm just referring to it as an example just to show you what it does and go through a couple of the topics. Let's say we finish this topic now. We've gone through all the circuit symbols and what they mean. I can mark it as complete. You can see a tick come up just now. Give it a second. There'll be a tick. It's marked as complete. And then as a result of that, it's ticked here and there is a progress bar for this topic. Okay. So then if I go away from the website, I come back, I can go, okay, this is where I left off. This is what I've covered. I can carry on to the next topic. Okay. The next one being charge and current. The key thing I want to note here is the equation. Okay. Charge equals current times time. Quit, Q equals IT. You did this in year 9? Yes, exactly. This is the thing. Obviously, in school, they are preparing you for your GCSEs. Otherwise, they've not done something right if they're doing something completely different. So definitely some of it you would have seen, and then you're revisiting now. This is one of them. Q equals IT or quit. A lot of the time, we use a triangle for equations, especially in physics. Cover up the one you want to find. So let's say I don't know what Q is. I cover it up. And then it's the other two terms. So I times T. Q equals IT. That's what works there. Okay. I is the symbol for current. Q is a symbol for charge. Can anyone tell me what charge is measured in? What is the unit for charge, guys? You can tell me. And then whilst I wait for that, Carmel, I'm aiming for an 8 to 9 in combined science. How should I be revising science? So I've mentioned this. I will mention this so many times. Happy you asked the question. You need to go through the notes first, okay? Check the spec, go through the notes, for the points you need to understand. And I'd say you make notes, okay? But this is where we're trying to help. We're giving you a set of notes to use. Or if you're joining our classes, I think, Carmel, you have joined, you get the workbooks, right? There's your notes sorted. Go through those. Then you would want to try questions, okay? You need to consolidate your knowledge one way or another. The best way is to do exam questions, okay? So you try a paper, test yourself under time conditions, see where you went wrong, park that paper to the side, go and do some others, revisit that later on, because then you would have picked up your knowledge later, see how you marked up again. And then you can compare those marks and you can see what you've learned. And that's how you progress every time. Okay. So learning notes, trying questions, looking at notes, trying more questions, and repeating that process, a repetitive cycle. Okay. Some people, they leave it too late. They don't go with trying papers until, I guess a couple of weeks before, but you need to be really, I would say, get through everything by about March, April, and then get to, really, I'd say March, and then start to get into papers and that process, papers, then notes, and repeat that step until you get to a stage where you've reached all the papers, and then you go around again. Yeah, if you've got that time, you do it. That's what I was doing. I got through all my papers, and then I went through them all over again. Yeah. Guys, I can see people are. Please do like and hype the chat, and appreciate everyone that's taken part so far. Remember, if you guys haven't joined yet, our Kahoot pin, I will go back to the screen now. Our Kahoot pin is 7376063. Some people have dropped out, guys. Let's get some more people in there. Those of you that are in there, it's a 1 in 5 chance of getting that top spot right now, but I'm sure that's going to change before we start. 21 people reached the chat so far. We want to remember 50. If you know anyone else, get them involved. 50 people, and we'll up the prizes to 3. Yeah, for the top 3, we'll give prizes out to everyone. Today, it's the top 2, but still, that's a great opportunity, right? 2 out of, what is that so far? 9. I'm sure we're going to get more. There's almost 20 people in the chat. Everyone get involved. And remember, you have to be involved in the chat with a screenshot of that, as well as the screenshot of you winning or coming second. And how do you do that? There'll be a podium at the end, and your character can be seen in the bottom left. So we'll know if it's you, okay? You can't send a picture of just the podium and say it's me. We will know the difference, okay? We have the opportunity to see who is who as well. So we just want that verification from you with the screenshot, but we know if the screenshot is real or not. So please do just send us both to our email. I've got it here, help@flashrevisionlab.com on the left-hand side, okay? help@flashrevisionlab.com. That is where we want you to send your email to, okay? How do you use your notes on the website? Do I look at the video first, and what do I do after that? Honestly, it's completely up to you how you use our website, okay? All the options are there for you. You can use the notes, you can use, and then you can use the video. And we've got even here, split view, where you can see both the video and the questions side by side. You can use both. So the option is there for you to use either. Okay, you don't have to use both. That's fine. Don't worry, Barry. I'm not starting yet. I've got a few more topics to go through before we start. But yeah, thanks for joining. Much appreciated. Yeah, don't worry about that. I will wait for you. We're not going to start just yet. But please do take part in the chat. I need to see you answering some questions here. Okay, otherwise you're not going to be in with a chance. If you end up first, it'll be a shame if you won it and then didn't send me a screenshot of you in the chat engaging with my questions I'm asking you. Yeah, I'm going to carry on with the lesson, Fatima. So we've done charge and current. I'm moving on to charge, potential difference, and resistance. Another equation, okay? V equals IR, something we've seen as Ohm's law. Can anyone tell me what Ohm's law is? Does anyone know? It's to do with the potential difference and the current. What is their relationship, guys? Anyone know? I'm sure my guys that are already in FRL classes, they know. Let me see, Carmel. Sorry, I'll come back to your question. What do I do after I've paid for the £22 a month? So you're doing FRL classes. You get the classes every Sunday. So today and every Friday. So Friday is chemistry in the evening, and then Sunday evenings we have biology and physics. Okay, and every week you get access to all those classes. And with that, every class comes with a workbook. You print out the workbook before the class. You fill in the workbook with me during the class, and then you have a full set of notes with questions at the end to try. I have walkthrough videos for you for each of those questions so you can understand how they work if you haven't got them right, and to check your answers. And then you do that every week. You get a full set of notes by the end of it. Okay. So that is what you get with FRL classes. You get the access to the learning portal set up on there. You should have had the emails. If there are any issues, please do drop us an email, but you should have everything. I've seen your name there in the portal, so you should have everything you need. But if any issues, just let us know. No problem. Potential difference equals current resistance times current. That is the equation. You're right. But what is the relationship? Someone said it just above. Swashbuckler, correct. The relationship, which is what Ohm's law tells us, and you can see it here, the relationship is that the current is directly proportional to the potential difference. Okay, they are directly proportional to each other unless there is a change in resistance. Okay, that is the only reason there's a change in resistance is if there is a change in physical conditions. Okay, if the temperature changes or something like that, that can affect the resistance, and then your relationship changes between potential difference and current. But yes, as a few of you have now mentioned, Carmel, you've mentioned it as well. Ohm's law states current and potential difference are directly proportional. Okay, and that leads to this equation, V equals IR, and you can use it to work out the example here. So I'm not going to go through that right now. You can see it on the website. We have a couple more topics to do, so I'll carry on. The next one I want to look at is IV graphs, okay, and resistors. We look at the different types of resistors I mentioned earlier. The important thing is we have a required practical looking at what to do in testing those different types of resistor and what their graphs look like. Okay. Mohammed, sorry, I've seen you message a few times. You have, I don't know if you came second. I think Dennis did and Ashton did before. I don't know if you came second last time, but you were close, I remember. So hopefully you get it this time. We have about 20 odd people now still. Whoever said that, sorry if I said your name wrong. But yeah, we don't have enough yet. Okay, we want to get more people. If you know anyone, get them to join. But thank you to you all so far and for taking part in the chat. Okay, so here, like I was saying, the required practical. What's the code? Sorry, I'll quickly show you before we carry on again. 7376063. We have 14 people in here now, so it's growing a bit. Okay. The lessons, Carmel, yes, they are recorded. Okay, so if you can't make a session live at any time, you can watch it back. It's available for like the next month and a bit, almost 2 months. It's available for after we've done the class. So you do have it accessible after. Okay, so completely flexible to you. You can use them, revisit them when you like. Yeah. How long will this be, Zara? We're going to be doing a revision for another 10 minutes before the quiz starts. Okay, so I'm going to set a timer now of about 10 minutes before we make a start on the quiz. We've got 14 people in here still, 7376063. The website is www.kahoot.it. Okay, so make sure you get in there. I'll give another 10 minutes for people to join, and then we will make a start. Okay, Philip, thanks for that. Appreciate the words. Thank you for that. You find it useful, and I'm sure the more people join, they will find it useful as well. Okay, great, Ostrich. I'll be keeping an eye out for you, Mohammed. All the best in a few minutes. Okay. So what we're showing here, what does this test circuit, how do we set this up? Okay, so we have in green here, our component we're testing. Okay, remember a rectangle is a resistor. It can also be tested for a lamp or a diode. Yeah, a diode, we'll explain the property in a second, but that is a graph or a symbol for a diode. They can go in this position in green here. We then have a voltmeter in parallel. We talked about this earlier. People answered it in the chat to record the potential difference across that component. We then have the current set up in series. So in series meaning in line. I'll explain these in a second about series and parallel later. And we have an ammeter in series to monitor or measure the current. So we observe measurements for current and resistance, current and potential difference. But we do that and vary the resistance. Remember a variable resistor here with the arrow? It varies the resistance so we can record different potential difference in current values. We get a set of those values and we can plot our recordings on an IV graph. Okay, IV, I first and V second, because I is on the y-axis, so current against potential difference, V on the x-axis. And that is what I've got in these diagrams, current against potential difference, I against V, okay? And for each of those components, so an ohmic conductor is a conductor or an object that obeys Ohm's law, okay? And what did we say? We said Ohm's law earlier, for those of you that were here and got it right. Current is directly proportional to resistance. To be directly proportional, you need a straight line that goes through the origin. That's exactly what we have here, okay? So an ohmic conductor's IV graph is a diagonal line through the origin. A lamp, a filament lamp, it has kind of an ohmic conductor relationship, but then it changes eventually at higher potential differences. And why does that happen? If you've ever felt your filament lamp, you may have, at your peril. Has anyone touched it or put their hand near it? What happens to a filament lamp if you keep it on for a little while? I will come to your questions, Are, in a second. You are correct, but I'll mention that in a second. Heats up. Yes, guys, correct. Yeah, everyone's getting it in the chat. Nice. Yeah, because the resistance increases. Someone just answered my next question, Yasmin. I was just about to ask, what happens then? Yeah, because that heat, as it gets warmer, causes the electrons in the circuit to gain kinetic energy. They vibrate. Then they're now vibrating against each other, knocking into each other. You're not getting that smooth flow of electrons. They're disrupted. So that is resistance increasing. There's more resistance to the flow of current, and the resistance increases. That leads to the line becoming flatter. Okay, so that is the lamp. And then lastly, the diode. What is a special property of a diode, anyone? Can you tell me? The graph gives you an indication of it, but can anyone tell me, what do we observe? And you'll see it when you record measurements, okay? Because one thing is we're monitoring the changing the resistance with the values, but to get negative values, we need to switch the direction of the battery, say, in the circuit, okay? So we swap the resistor around, we swap something around in the circuit to reverse the current, and then we see what happens. But here, we aren't seeing anything when we reverse the current because it only allows, there we go, guys, current to flow in one direction. Yeah, that is the key property of a diode. It only allows current to flow in one direction. Very good. Yeah, so that is what these show. And you need to know these IV graphs and the experiment to make those results. That will come up in your exam. Very good, guys. I'm going to come back to Zara's question now. I'm just going to scroll a bit up. But guys, if you can, as you are, I can see people doing it. Please like in the chat, drop some hearts. And you've all subscribed so far, I can see, to our YouTube channel because you wouldn't be messaging otherwise. And yeah, make sure you have your screenshot saved for later on of you in the chat. Okay, I think you asked about thermistor. Yeah, I've seen it. So does the resistance of a thermistor decrease when the temperature increases? If so, I don't understand. Okay, essentially, a thermistor by name is a temperature dependent resistor. That's just its property. Its special property is that as the temperature increases, its resistance decreases. That's all you need to know. It's a special property inside of it that it's affected by the temperature. If the temperature is lower, then it allows less current to flow through it. If the temperature is higher, it allows more current to flow through it. So the resistance goes down. Okay. Similarly, with a light dependent resistor, it has that same relationship. It's a special special characteristic of the light dependent resistor is that when more light shines on it, it causes its resistance to go down. It's just its special property. Just like with a thermistor, its special property though is with temperature. Okay, so it causes it to drop. It's just a physical condition that affects its resistance. Okay, for a light dependent resistor, you shine more light on it, then more current will go through because its resistance goes down. So that is just the relationship you need to know. Okay. The Kahoot code, someone's asking for it again. We're almost at the end of our revision part of this topic, so bear in mind everything we've done. There's going to be stuff on this in the quiz. Okay, 7376063. That is the pin. Kahoot.it. Please do get on. There's 16 of you. I want to see a few more. There's over 20 in the live right now, so I want to get it over 20 here. Not everyone is in the Kahoot yet, so get involved. Okay, so the next thing we've done, we've only got one more bit, which is the series and parallel circuits. Okay, this is the last bit I want to cover before we get into the quiz. So I want to see you engaging with me here. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want to go through a few little tips and tricks here and there. Okay, so series and parallel, what is the difference? So in a series circuit, A series circuit is one in which there is one loop. Okay, so everything is connected in one straight loop. Whereas parallel, there are several loops that are parallel to each other. So you can see here, one bulb in the first loop, you go down to the second loop, there's another bulb, and then you go down to the third loop for another bulb. Yeah, so 3 bulbs in parallel compared to 3 bulbs in series is very, very different. And yes, Quinn, you've said it, for series, current stays the same, potential difference is shared. Okay, so if this series circuit had a battery of, let's say, 9 volts, what is the potential difference across each of the bulbs here in series? Can anyone tell me? Who's going to drop their answer first? Pre-quiz to the quiz. 3. Yes, because it's equally shared. We're saying they're identical in this case. Yeah, so that's the assumption. So they should be shared equally. It should be 3 volts each. However, if the current in the cell was, say, 10 amps, what's the current in each light bulb in a series circuit? Can anyone tell me? Well done, everyone. Loads of people getting it. It's 3. Nice. What about for current? If the current is 10 amps, Mohammed says 10. Yes, everyone's getting it. Current is the same. Okay. So in series, current stays the same. Potential difference is shared. In parallel, you just think it's the opposite. Okay. So current shared and potential difference stays the same. So if we take the same values, I said what, 9 volts for the battery. What will be the voltage in or potential difference in each bulb for the parallel circuit if it's 9 volts in the battery on this side? Can anyone tell me who's going to drop it first? Last time was Constantly. I don't know. That was a good, interesting name. He's first again. Oh no, not first. It was Zara this time. Nice. 9. Yeah, because the potential difference stays the same. If the current is 10 amps, as I said last time, what would the current in each of the light bulbs be in this case in parallel? Carmel, no, amps is a measure for current. Okay, remember the key thing, and current is measured using an ammeter. So amps and ammeter for current, volts and voltmeter for potential difference. Okay, so amps is a measure of current. 3.3, Zara, nice. 10 over 3, right? We're splitting it equally between the 3 bulbs. So that's 10 amps for the overall current shared between 3. 10 divided by 3, that's 3.3. Okay. Voltage and potential difference are the same thing, Royal Akbari, correct? Yeah, I was just saying that potential difference is the more scientific term. Yeah, so if you want to use it in your exams, I'd recommend using the term potential difference. It's just in case. Yeah, so potential difference is, as I said, the voltage. It's basically, we call it basically the energy transferred per unit charge. So basically it's what pushes the current around the circuit. Okay, so it's the energy transferred from the battery to the circuit. That's what the potential difference is. It's what you have energy obviously in your battery that is getting current to flow in the circuit, isn't it? And you're transferring it to the circuit via potential difference. So the energy transferred per unit charge is the exact definition of potential difference, and it's used to transfer energy from the battery to the components in the circuit. It pushes the current around the circuit. That is what potential difference is. Okay. Series current is the same, and in parallel it's shared. Correct, Quinn. Yeah. And then PD is the same as voltage. Correct. And lastly, for potential difference, in series it's shared, and in parallel it stays the same. Okay. That is the difference between all of them. Does the circuit work without an ammeter and voltmeter? Yes, it does, because those are just to make recordings. Yeah. So, I've asked you, for example, I said in the series circuit, what is the potential difference across each bulb? If I had the voltmeter parallel to one, I will get that reading of 3 volts, right? That is what would happen. It's only there to measure. Okay. It doesn't do anything to the circuit. It's not needed for it to work. It's just what we need to measure certain characteristics, current for ammeter and potential difference for the voltmeter. It just measures stuff. Okay. But so that's why when we do experiments with stuff, we want to record that data. So that's why we have an ammeter and voltmeter. It's not that it won't run otherwise. It's just how can we record the data, right? We need something to measure with. That's all they're for. Good question. Okay, cool. That should be it. Okay, guys, that is all I'm going to cover in this topic. Again, take a look at the website. I've done a whistle stop tour, haven't I? Yeah, as you know, obviously with time in mind. But take a look at this. Tick it off as you go along. Like I said, this is flashrevisionlab.com. Signing up is completely free and gives you access to all our notes. If you want full access to everything on the website, that's FRL Pro for just £4 a month. Yeah, not even the price of a coffee these days. And if you want to join our classes, FRL classes every week, 3 classes a week, 12 classes a month for £22. That's less than £2 a class. I don't know where you're going to get that elsewhere. We're kind of giving away almost for free at this point. But it's a really good opportunity to get access to all our classes, all the workbooks that come with it, a great revision tool to give you everything you need to revise for your exams. Okay, so do check that out. But without further ado, we have 22 people in the chat. FRL Pro. What is FRL Pro? I got it, but I don't know what I get extra. Okay, so with that, Quinn, you get access to all the questions. Okay, with FRL, and you sign up with a free account, you don't get access to all the questions that you get here. You don't get access to all these exam questions. Not all of them are available. You don't get access to the flashcards, the brand new flashcards we've got. Everything you get there, you get full access to the website. Nothing is limited. You got AI tutor, you get everything. Yeah, so that is what FRL Pro gives you. FRL classes on top of that, all of that gives you access to our live classes as well. The ones we run on Fridays and Sundays, and that gives you access to everything. So FRL, when you sign up, you get access to all the notes. When you get FRL Pro, you get access to all the questions, everything on the website. And then when you get FRL classes, you get our classes, as the name suggests, with that as well. Science topics take so long to cover. You're right, Carmel, it does. And to be honest, when you've got all your GCSEs going on, I do feel your pain. I've been there before, and it is a lot. But keep grinding, guys. Just a few months. We're already February, another 3 months, and we'll get there. Okay. So we're going to get into the quiz now. And I want to see how many people we've got. We've got 15 people in the chat. Okay. So just before we finish off, I have one thing to cover in the notes here. So, one thing I was going to look at is here briefly on domestic electricity. I wanted to ask people a question because it's something that comes up quite a bit. Something you need to know. UK main supply, right? So I'm talking about, I want to see one here. Obviously, you can't see it, but a plug, any sort of plug in your house, right? On the wall, what rating does the plug point have in terms of potential difference to the circuit? If someone's dropped it, even the next question, I was going to say the frequency as well, 50 hertz, right? It's the frequency of your main supply, and 230, that is the potential difference you get to the supply given. So you need to know that to know higher voltage, it will be too dangerous for you. You can get our main supplies are 230 volts. That, and also obviously all the circuit symbols, series and parallel circuits, knowing the difference. Okay, that's going to be important here. And also knowing the different equations can be valuable, but knowing the circuit symbols, knowing what happens in series and in parallel, and what our circuits in our houses use, that is what we're going to cover today. So I've gone through everything. That is everything. It should be everything that you need to know for this quiz. Let's see how much people have listened. I've got 21 people in the chat. I've got 38 people in the live. There are a lot of people that aren't in the live, but are not in the quiz. I'm opening the quiz now. I'm going to give you one final minute to take part. 7376063. I want to get started on this quiz. Funny Girl, Frozen, I'm watching out for you. Funny Girl. There was 30 people. It was up to 38 people in the live. It just dropped off. If we reach 50, we will give out 3 prizes next week. So get people involved if they want to get involved. Get us to 50, and that gives you a chance in future of getting 1 in 3 chance. All right, 3 on the podium. You'll get a chance of winning that. Okay, 23 people. I'm going to give it a few seconds. Mystical Unicorn, Zara, Excited Panda. DC is where current flows in one direction. That's a good point, Roy Akbari. Alternating current is where it changes direction. Yeah, good point. Not sure if there's a question in here. This quiz is going to be a little bit shorter as well, just 10 questions. Okay, so less to bear with me on. I'm going to explain as we go along because I want to make sure ultimately this is a learning experience, guys. Yeah, I want you to learn as much as possible. So I'm going to briefly go through each question as we answer them. Shouldn't take me too long, but bear with me. We're just going to try and understand as much as we can. I want to help you guys. Yeah, that is the aim for today. Yes, there's a little hint of a treat here with a prize, a bit of competition. Yeah, we just want to enjoy ourselves as well. But let's make it a learning experience as well. So we've got 25 people. Final call. Anyone going to join? I'm going to give it one last chance. I'm just going to see who else is in the chat here. Great Ostrich is Mohammed. Okay, I'm watching out for you. Frozen is Funny Girl. Mystical Unicorn for Zara. Majestic Things. I'm going to keep asking every time I get here. Okay, because I know that the leaderboard is going to change. We've seen it before. It jumps back and forth. The top 5 are always going to change. So give me a shout in the chat if that's you in the top 5, the top 2, the winner, the leader. Okay, I want to see everyone involved. If you can't find the recorded session on the portal, don't worry, Carmel. Drop us an email. We will show you. I'll show you with screenshots exactly how to find it. Okay, don't worry. Apologies that you're finding it difficult, but it definitely is straightforward. I will show you. No problem. Yeah, just drop us an email and we'll send you, our team will help you, send you with some screenshots as to how to get there, where to access stuff. Okay, cool. The playful name one. Okay, there are probably more than one playful ones, but okay, I haven't seen anyone else join. That is it. I'm going to start. Okay, good luck. 10 questions, one of them, but one quiz question just to the poll to start with. 26 people. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. Let's do this. Let's see how we get on. Okay. So our first question, just to get a bit of an idea from everyone, let's see how everyone is doing. This is every Sunday. Yes, by the way, it is every Sunday, 7:45. Okay. Oh, straight into a question, guys. What unit measures electric current? What unit? You can join now as well. You can join now as well. You just may have missed the first question, but you never know how people get on. You win with a chance. Kahoot. The quiz is 7376063 is the pin. Okay. Two more people left to answer. Is it volts, ohms, amperes, or watts? What is the unit here? Amps. Okay. Remember, I mentioned someone asked a question earlier. I think it was Carmel. Amps. She said it's potential difference. No, it's for current. Yeah, it's measured in amperes. Okay, so we did cover that. It is something you need to know. A couple of people made a mistake, but that's all right. Early days. That's fine if you can't join right now. Sorry, I didn't realize it's because of that. Yeah, every Sunday at 7:45 I come on, and then Neen every Wednesday doing either chemistry or biology alternating weeks at 8:30 p.m. Yeah, on a Wednesday. So those are your two chances every week to join this. So please do come along. Let's see how we're doing. First question out. 1,000. We've got 1,000. We did have someone on 1,000 to start with last time. That is incredible. I don't know how you've done that quickly. Mental. Yeah, whoever that is, they've taken the lead. But remember, it's all very close. Look, only 30 points between the top 5. Those of you that are new to this, it's about getting it right, but it's about being quick as well. Okay, but don't be too quick and get it wrong. That is the thing. I've had it here before. People have made mistakes, but remember, don't worry. It's all about having fun. Magnetic Sphinx. Thanks for the heart. Someone did say that they were something. Oh, someone said Majestic Sphinx. That's Malika. Magnetic Sphinx must be someone else. Rockstar Newt. Who is that? Well done. Good start. Let's keep going. Question 2, another quiz question. What is this circuit component? Who's going to get there first? It's going to reveal itself. Let's see who's going to get the answers first. There is a symbol coming out. People have made it out already. They can see a couple of things in there. The dotted line may have given it away to people. Who would have got it? Filament lamp, battery, resistor, or fuse? Which one is this? Most people have almost answered now. I think that's 28 people. There we go. 3 people said filament lamp. It was a battery. 1 person said a resistor. The giveaway was a dotted line. If you answered too quickly, maybe you thought it was a full line. That's why I can see the only way of a filament lamp is a cross usually, right? In a circle. A resistor, we said, is a rectangle. A fuse, a rectangle with a line in it. Okay. And the battery is the 2 vertical lines, and it's more than one of those. Remember, one pair of that is a cell. Multiple cells make up a battery. Okay. That's what you did. Sorry, I don't understand what you mean. Hopefully you got it right. Or did you say you got it wrong because you jumped in too quickly? Hopefully not. If not, unlucky. Let's see how that places us. So 2,000 Rockstar Newt. Rockstar Newt has jumped in very quickly there. 2 exact spot on answers. You did it wrong, unlucky Mohammed, but don't worry, there is a chance here. Yeah, there's several more questions to go. You're not out of it yet. Rapid Blobfish and Funny Goal. Funny Goal, I think that was Frozen. It was. Yeah, you're locked in, I think. You haven't messaged since, but I can see you're locked in. And so is Rockstar Newt. Maybe too locked in. Let's see. Let's see if it's 1,000 every time or not. Is he going to keep that up? We'll see. He or she. I don't know who. But Dynamic Mouse is on your tail, and then a little bit of a gap between the rest. But let's see. Nowhere near over. Let's have a look at the next question. So, a pin answer. Put your pin in the correct position. Which of these represents a filament lamp? So, which of these symbols? You can see all of them there. Which one is a filament lamp? Answers are dropping in. Make sure you drop your pin in the right position and press submit, okay? It doesn't drop until you press submit. That's when your answer is registered. A few more people left to answer here. Let's see what people put down. Not long left now. Sorry. Let's see how we go. 23 people have answered. Another 5 people left to answer. Drop your pin in. Drop your pin in, and 2 more people left. There we go. Oh, okay. A couple of different answers here, but majority have got the right answer. The correct answer is where people are. It's a circle with a cross in it. Guys, I was just saying it even in the last question, okay? I literally just said in the explanation, I said in the answers, a bulb or a filament lamp is a circle with a cross in it, okay? For those of you that got it wrong, someone put a light-dependent resistor where the arrows are pointing towards a resistor. That is a light-dependent resistor. The one with an arrow through it, that is a variable resistor. And then we've got one more here. I can't see it underneath, but I think it's a switch that people have put, okay? That is a shame. I did mention it, but most people got it right. So I'm glad to see most people are either paying attention or know it. Good. Okay. How do you know? How do you get 100 on the last one with a picture? Yeah. Well, true. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how someone did that, but we'll see how they're getting on in the next question. They've changed. They've got it wrong. So they weren't. Whoever they were, either they threw a massive guess or they got it. They've got it completely wrong now. But they are out of it at the moment. They've dropped. Let's see how far they've dropped and whether they come back. But Dynamic Mouse has been consistently at the top. Who is Vibrant Honeybee? They've made a jump. Funny Goal Frozen. That's you fighting for that 3 points between second and third. I love seeing it this close. Makes it interesting. But yeah, nice. So a thinking emoji from Great Ostrich. I think someone said they were that in the chat. I hope you win. Yeah, good luck. I hope you do too. I hope everyone gives it the best shot. You're staying in with a chance. And it's close. Yeah, it's not over yet. Dynamic Mouse has a little bit of a lead, but it's not over. As you can see, the Rockstar Newt had a massive lead and they've got one wrong and they've dropped off the board altogether. Yeah, so you never know. You never know. Okay, next question. A quiz question again. Which of these particles carry charge in a circuit? Okay, which one? Is it electrons, neutrons, photons, or protons? Which one is it? Something that carries charge in a circuit. I did mention it. Remember what flows around in a circuit? I did mention this. Most people have answered. I'll give it a couple more seconds. Which one do we think is the correct answer, guys? I can see 2 people have got it wrong. 3 people. Oh no, someone's put photons. I don't know who did that. Hopefully someone that joined late. Most people have got it right. So someone tell us it's electrons, okay? Electrons carry charge. Electrons flow is a flow of charge is the flow of electrons in a circuit, okay? So electrons is the correct answer. Someone put photons. Unfortunately, protons don't carry the charge. They are positively charged, but they don't carry the charge in the circuit. It is electrons that do that, okay? So let's see how that leaves the leaderboard. A bit of movement. Dynamic Mouse on 3891 still. Vibrant Honeybee has eaten in a little bit into that gap. And then Magnificent Piranha in third. Funny Gull, Frozen, you've taken a little drop. Hopefully you can get back into it. You're just too slow. That's okay. I'm sure if you speed up on the next one, you can catch up. So it's not too late. Who said real man? I know I'm not winning. Some of you are too smart. It's okay, Swashbuckler. We're here to learn. Remember, it's just a quiz. It's all a bit of fun, bit of competition at the end of it. I didn't even ask you guys. I ask this every week. If you win, what are you going to do with the money? People have said a variety of things. Some people have said sweets. Some people have said revision materials, printing out stuff, using a printer credits. Some people might want a food, a bit of a snack, some drinks. Yeah. It's more on speed. Ekbari, in a way, yes. I mean, ultimately, when you're at the top, I think everyone in the top 5 has probably got every question right. 7 people have an answer streak of 3. Yeah. So some people have got everything right. It's just about speed. Buy an iPad pen. Fair enough. Yeah. Saving for a car. Mohammed, I like it. The long-term thinking. Every little helps. Yeah. That's going to come in value in a few years' time when it comes ready for you to buy a car. Good shout. Hair care. Sweets. Yeah. Never mind. Fatima, why not? Hair care for you. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. Okay, on to the next one. Let's see what this question is holding for us. Get ready. Quiz question again. Which unit measures resistance? So we spoke about this, didn't we? We spoke about it. Volts, ohms, watts, and amperes. People dropped their answers super quick there. A few more people left to answer. Just 3 more. Let's see what people get. Volts, ohms, watts, or amperes. Bear in mind, some of them we've covered already. Some of them, the names indicate what they are. One of them I haven't mentioned today. Good people didn't mention it. I didn't mention watts, so I'm glad nobody put that. Most people put ohms. Some people put volts. Remember, volts is a measure of potential difference, guys, okay? So unfortunately for you guys, the 2 of you that said that, volt is incorrect. Ohms is a measure of resistance. Ohm's law, remember, talks about resistance. That is the measure for that. You're mad I have hair and you don't. No need for that comments. No need for those comments, guys, okay? Keep it friendly. Keep it friendly. A bit of feisty back and forth there. But let's see how the leaderboard looks. So Dynamic Mouse on 4,851. Vibrant Honeybee still just behind on 130 points. They're not too that far behind, okay? So it's still in the balance. Magnificent Piranha only 16 points behind for that second spot. Definitely second up for grabs. And first is still within reach, guys. So keep going. I wonder who is who. I only know Frozen here is Funny Gull. Anyone else? Mention who they are. Anyone else? Let's quieten down. Yeah, let's get on with the quiz. How's it going? How are you guys? Where are you guys in the quiz? Fatima, Malika, Swashbuckler. Where are you guys in this leaderboard? Does it say what position you are? Are you on the leaderboard? Can I see you here? Oh, thank you. Oh, going from nutmegs to hair. Love it. Love it. Okay. 10th place. Not bad, Zara. Not bad. Because you know what? The points are probably pretty close. I'm sure you're in the 4,600s probably, and you're still just 10th. So the positions can easily change. 26th, Malika, don't worry if you are. It can change. Okay. People can get stuff wrong. Just keep an eye on it. Sadly, yes, but it's not over. And remember, it's all revision. I'm hoping that you're learning from the mistakes you're making if you are making any. Okay, on to the next one. Question 6 of 10. Which of these represent the IV graphs of a diode? Remember, we talked about IV graphs, current against potential difference. I went through the graphs particularly. And what was the specific property of a diode? I did mention that as well. So let's see if you guys were listening, who was taking part, got it right, hopefully. Don't worry, Quinn. Don't worry, Mariam. 24th, 25th is not bad, okay? You drop, there's not much of a difference between people. Like I said, you make a mistake, it drops you down, but you may get an answer right, and it's still super close. Yeah, one person makes a mistake. You saw it at the start. That guy, whoever it was, dropped massively because of it. I haven't seen him since. Yeah, so it can change in an instant. And loads of people have got it right. Bit of a shame to see some people get it wrong. Yeah, the answer was a diode has a current flowing in one direction. Yeah, the key thing was, therefore, the left side of the graph should have nothing. It should be basically zero, which is what this shows. Yeah, in a diode. The other ones, the left-hand one is an ohmic conductor. Remember, it obeys Ohm's law, so it's directly proportional through the origin, Ohm's law, ohmic conductor. The middle one was a filament lamp. We specifically spent time talking about the change in temperature as the potential difference increases, leading to the resistance increasing. Yeah, so that's a filament lamp. So the only correct answer is the right-hand side. Okay. You got to leave, Swashbuckler. Oh, it's a shame. I'll see you later. You should come on next time. Hopefully you win. Hopefully you jump to first. Yep, you gotta hope. You gotta hope. Keep trying. Get your questions. Get your answers in. Zippy Panther has made a rise. Funny goal. That's you, Frozen. Jess Level in 4th now, joint 4th. It's close at the top still. Vibrant Honeybee is still in with a chance, and Magnificent Piranha just behind. Their top 3 are still up for grabs, guys. Okay, give it your best shot. Just 4 more questions left. Okay, let's get into the next one. What is it going to be? A slider. Okay, so if you haven't been here before, slide to the correct value. We covered this. UK mains electricity, some of you dropped it in the chat, is 50 hertz and how many volts? Slide it to the correct position and press submit. Don't forget to press submit. It doesn't lock your answer in. Valuable time will be lost if you don't press submit. So put your answer in and press submit. Let's see. A few more people left to answer. What is the value? Remember, I mentioned UK mains. So the plug in your wall. Let's see what most people have gone 253, 240. It's 230. You can see the majority of the people have put it. The correct answer is 230. We're going to see it drop over. It's not 300. Mohammed's trolling because he gave us the correct answer before. I do remember you're the first person that said it before I even asked the question. 230. Okay. So a few people are close. Some people put 240. It used to be that people used to mention, but 230 is the value. Okay. So that's one to remember. Literally in the spec, you'll see the point. If you go in our notes into our spec tab, you'll see it mentions about 230 volts and 50 hertz. Okay. So that has changed things a little bit. Oh, who is that? It's Frozen. No, you've dropped off the leaderboard at the moment. Was that a mistake? What value did you put? I see a lot of people have put that. And so you can see it changes in an instant. Let's see whereabouts are you, Philip? I haven't seen you here. Do you know can you tell me which one you are? Maybe I missed your name. You put 260. Damn, that's unlucky. It's unlucky. 230 is the value, but again, it's all here for learning, right? And it's close at the top. Look at that gap. It's dropped down to 50 points. It was almost 200 at one point. That's what I'm telling you. You can claw away and get back into it. Top 3, all fighting for first place for sure. Definitely. Yeah, and 4th, 5th, and 6th probably still fighting for that second spot. So plenty to play for. You have an answer streak of 7. Nice, Sarah. Nice. Good to show. I guess a mixture of learning from here and also I reveal at the end, Philip. Nice. Okay, I like that. You don't want people to know who you are. Go under the radar. I like it. As long as you're locked in, good luck. Good luck. I hope you get near the top and get to the top. Cool. Next one. Let's go. 3 questions, I think, Mariam. Not many. Okay, so let's see. Redemption next week, Karma. Absolutely. I want to see it. But keep fighting here for the last few bits. Let's see what you can remember from our quiz. 3 questions left. Type the answer, okay? What is the name of the symbol in this circuit? Wait for the image to appear. You can see a rectangle maybe or a square. What is it going to be? Is it going to be? I can see some more squares coming out. Now there's a line appearing. Who's going to tell me what that is? A couple of answers have dropped in now. Let's see who's going to get it right. Can you figure it out now? Now it's really taking shape. You should be able to get it, hopefully. Hopefully you know what it is. I did mention it. I took time to mention it today. Can anyone remember what it is? There, wow. Wow, a big variation of answers. We only accepted 2 and only 12 people got it. Less than half the people got it right. Some people put transistor and stuff. I never mentioned transistor today. Remember, a rectangle indicates some sort of resistor, and I said a line through it indicates it's a fuse. It's specifically a fuse, okay? So fuse or fuses I accepted, but obviously there was only one, so people wouldn't really have put fuses, but fuse is the correct answer, okay? It's not switch. Mohammed, I feel like every time you're dropping it is late as well. And we've got to change. Vibrant Honeybee is top. Vibrant Honeybee is top. Wow. Okay, there's a change. Let's see. A couple of questions to go. It always changes near the end. So interesting, this. I always love seeing the leaderboard. So what is a resistor? Miriam, a resistor is a rectangle without a line through it. Okay. The fact that the line was going directly through the rectangle makes it a fuse. It's just a plain rectangle with the lines on the outside for wires is a resistor. That's the difference. Subtle difference, but an important one. Okay. A fuse is with a line through it. Okay. So the leaderboard, 2 more questions to go. Vibrant Honeybee has taken a lead, and there's about 126 points. A bit of a jump there. Let's see what happens in the last 2 questions. Okay, question number 9. Let's go. Slider again. What is the potential difference across each branch of this parallel circuit? So we talked about parallel circuits, and we said what the rules are for them. I'm asking for the potential difference here. Slide and press submit to lock in your answer. Over half the people have answered so far. I'm waiting for a few more, just 4 or 5 more answers. Can we remember? Let's see. No problem, Miriam. That's fine. Thank you for asking the question. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm here for. What have we put? So, majority of people, I think, have split between 2 volts and 6 volts. Why? Because some people have thought it's shared. Some people think it stays the same. It stays the same in a parallel circuit. Remember, I was saying in series, current stays the same, potential difference is shared. This was a parallel circuit. So potential difference stays the same and current is shared. So the same value of 6 from the battery is the same for every single bulb. That was why the answer was 6. Okay. So 2, I don't know, Malika, I think a few people are trolling in the chat, which is a good way to play. If you want, try and put people off. But making sure you're answering the questions. Maybe you just had enough and you're throwing people off. I don't know. There we go. Vibrant Honeybee is still in the lead, but it's still all to play for with the last question. Okay. 1 more left to go. The round ends with 1 more question. Okay. We're on the last one. Let's give it a go. Let's see what it is. Dando Cassowary, whoever you are, up 5 places. That is great effort from you. Let's see the last question. Question 10. Pin the answer in the correct position. Which component controls the current through the circuit? We saw this circuit. Remember, I showed you this circuit. Which one controls the current? Not careful with what the question says. Which one controls the current? Are there any more Kahoots? Malika, not today, but I've seen you in previous sessions before. We have them on Wednesday and we have them on Sunday. Every Wednesday, every Sunday, obviously except half terms probably, but every Wednesday and every Sunday we are holding a live to go through a quiz. Okay, a Kahoot is going to be on each of those days. Wednesday at 8:30 to 9:30, Sunday 7:45 to 8:45. And there we go. Real mixed bag. Okay, and I'm going to talk through this quickly before I reveal the leaderboard. The top one is a battery. It's fixed, so you can't amend the current. It doesn't control the current because you can't change it, right? That's fixed. Same with the ammeter. It doesn't control, this is what I thought people would put. The ammeter measures current. It doesn't control current, it measures it, okay? Then the next one, the rectangle that we're testing, the resistor, that is not controlling it. That is affected by the current, okay? And then the V underneath is a voltmeter. It measures the potential difference across that component, okay? Remember, ammeter and voltmeter are just for measuring, no control there, okay? So that leaves our last component, which unfortunately less than half the people got, which is a shame, but it is a variable resistor. Remember, I said at the start, firstly, a variable resistor, you can vary the resistance. So by varying that resistance, you're controlling the current. That is what we use to change the current. Remember in the experiment, I said, take the measurements, vary the variable resistor again, then you'll get new measurements. So you're controlling those measurements by amending the variable resistor's resistance. Okay, so there we go. That is the final answer. How does that leave the leaderboard? What did we say? No, I lost my 9 answer streak. Zara, that is a shame. You did put up a great fight. 9 answers in a row is great, to be honest. Yeah, you've done really well. But I hope you've learned the reasoning for this. Yeah, this is why I put this question in here, hopefully so that you can understand what it helps. It helps a lot. Daisy, good to hear that. What's the difference in resistor and variable resistor? So a resistor has a fixed value. Okay, so it'll be 10 ohm, a 10 ohm resistor, for example, that is a fixed resistor. It always has a resistance of 10 ohms. A variable resistor, I don't know if you've used it in school, but it's like a metal thing and it has like a slider in the middle and you can vary. So when you slide the slider, the resistance of that resistor can change. So you can control that resistance. That is the difference. Yeah. So a fixed resistor has a resistor, sorry, is what we call a fixed resistor, basically, has a fixed resistance. A variable resistor, as the name suggests, it varies the resistance. Okay. And there we have it. That is the end. What topic are we doing on Wednesday? I don't know for sure yet, Elijah, but we will have it on our stories. Check our socials, follow us on TikTok, give us a follow. We will post what it is before the quiz goes live. Yeah, so maybe on tomorrow or Tuesday, it will be on our story. So stay tuned and we'll tell you what it is. Can we do more for fun? Not today, unfortunately. We keep prepping these so we have enough to do each time. So unfortunately, I don't have another one for you today, but please do stay tuned. Come on Wednesday, come on Friday, twice a week you're getting this. So just a couple of days so I will make the next one to prepare us all. Philip, your magnificent piranha. Okay, so was that you at the top? Was it not? Let's have a look. Can you do AQA Comp 2 subjects next week? We will do some. So we did some. We varied, right? We did some topic 2 last time. I think waves. This time we've gone on to electricity. We will be going in between the two. Okay, so definitely we'll be covering some. If not next week, definitely the week after. We will be covering and mixing and matching the topics. Okay. Topic 5 for bio, that will come up as well, Miriam. We definitely will cover everything. So stay tuned with us and we will be covering all of this, okay? Malika, I'm really sorry we can't do one more. I appreciate the willingness for one more. This is for science, okay? This is for biology, physics, and chemistry. Sundays is chemistry for the lives, and then physics, biology, and chemistry will be changing every other Wednesday, okay? Really sorry, guys. Sorry to disappoint you, but we will keep doing them every twice a week. We're doing it, okay? Just give us a bit of time to make the quizzes. Appreciate your patience. Let's see the podium. You're right. Without further ado, let's have a look. In third place, we have Magnificent Piranha. That's you, Philip. Oh, unlucky. Third by 50 points. Almost got the prize. Good battle. Dynamic Mouse in second with 9,350, leaving our winner as Vibrant Honeybee. Okay, congratulations to both of you. And then we've got fourth and fifth there. We've got Rapid Blue. I don't know what the full name was. And someone else. Unlucky to you all who came just underneath Philip. Shout out to you. Unlucky. Congrats to the winners. That's right, Miriam. Congrats. Well done, Vibrant Honeybee, Dynamic Mouse. If that's one of you, as I said, send us a screenshot of you in the chat when we were doing the revision earlier, and also the screenshot of this podium. I will know it's you. I can see who you are. So we just want validation. So make sure you send it. If it is you, we're going to see your character. We know it's who it is. So just give us that confirmation and you can claim your prize. Email us at help@flashrevisionlab.com. That is me done for today. I will hang around another minute or so for any other questions if anyone has anything. Sixth, unlucky Mohammed. Great effort, to be fair. I think you've been climbing every week. In 1 week you joined late. This time you were in almost there. I'm sure you weren't actually far off the total tally. So you're really close there. We'll see how we get on, Maya, but I don't know if we will be there for half term. We'll see how we get on, but we've still got a couple more weeks to then anyway. Okay. So we'll see you again next week. You're welcome. Thank you as well. Thank you guys for taking part. This isn't as fun without you guys in the chat. Yeah, whether you're joking around a bit or, you know, mostly everyone's enjoying it and everyone's asking questions. That's what makes this enjoyable. Yeah, not just for me, but hopefully for everyone else as well. Thank you very much for joining. Like I said, if you're not already part of us, with us already, join us on FRL. Go to flashrevisionlab.com, sign up for free to get access to our notes. FRL Pro for the full access to the website. FRL classes to join us on the weekends. Yeah, for our classes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Philip. I'll see you at FRL classes next Sunday. But other than that, thank you very much, guys. Have a good rest of your evening. Take care. Can we do 15 for first, 10 for second, and 5 for third? Like I said, if we get 50 in the live, then we will look to have 3 prizes and we may change it up in that sense. Okay, so it's something we're considering, but we want to see a bit more people in the lives to be able to do that. But yeah, if you guys keep taking part, that number's going to go up. It went up to like 38 today, so we might get there. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. Yes, I know you'd say that, Philip. You were close. You will get it, right? So yeah, we do want to do that because it gives people more of a chance. On Wednesday, it's 8:30. Okay, so 8:30. Join us from 8:30 on Wednesdays from 7:45 on Sundays. Okay. Um, yeah, save some money, but more people get a chance to win, isn't it? So that's what we want to do. But we just want to see more people in the live to make that happen. But yeah, we are listening to your suggestions, guys. We just want to see more people in there to make it happen. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend and see you next time. Take care. Thank you very much.